Spain again, and their coastline got tore up with all their sailboats. All their boats are all beached on the shores of Spain. That's another one I was going to show you. Let me get settled in here real quick. Howdy, folks. As you all gather there in the chat room. All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back. Let's get this show on the road. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. And here we go. So, this is August 15th, 2024. Little freeze frame right here. You can see little satellites getting ripped away, bigger spread, bigger object going on up here. I'm going to go ahead and put this into motion and just let that play for a minute there. There's some, our event that we started off with last night. Remember this? That turned into something kind of strange looking. Really don't want to point it out, so I'll let you guys kind of look at it as we go through. But it kind of holds a certain shape. And it's a weird looking shape. Anyways, I'll let that roll for a second. And while that's going, I'm going to take a moment to thank you guys for taking a moment of your precious time to be here with this precious family. As each day continues to go, you're learning how precious this family is and how precious you are to me. Okay? This isn't your average YouTube show. This is where we meet in the air. Do you understand that? Okay, I have, let's just get into this and try the best we can with what we got here. Okay, let me catch the opening frame here, and we're going to walk through this pretty slow here. The disturbing part that I want to point out, it can only be seen when it's in motion, so we'll go to that at the end. So here we are, opening frame 024 815 2024, and Venus is okay. Venus is just fine, you guys. All right, don't worry about that. We'll go over that too. Meanwhile, here we are, the opening frame. We had this weird little, plasma conduit reaching out and spreading around an object, okay? You can see the damaged ring going around said object right here. Okay, the plasma coming out to it. This slow motion, long duration event. Okay, you see other little satellites flying off at different angles too. Oh, that one's going in. Sorry. And then you see the spread for whatever this is right here. We'll get into this a little bit later. That's a spiritual event that most people don't want to see. Okay. Meanwhile, here comes our blast coming off here. You can see dark little object right there, right on the very fringe of it. Bing, bing. Right here in the center. Well, let's get to our frames. Hopefully this captures it. All right, it's kind of hiding back here in the plasma. Yeah, right in there. Okay, with its little moons and satellites all accompanying it. You can see the spread plasma flying off the top of it. There's other ones down here below that are out in front. You can see there's stuff that's trailing back behind it that's also catching some of the some of the plasma and spreading this even a little wider. Meanwhile, we have this event right here that's part of it. Okay, we'll get into that in a minute. Actually, I might not even. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. All right, so let's just continue here as this new blast moves on out. Oh, you're not too late. We just started. So. Boom, boom, boom. And then our long duration slow motion event. You see this little hook shaped structure right there? It just never changes. Anybody a Rams fan? Do you see the ram with the horns coming back right here, the eyes, the nose coming down? There's a ram right there. There looks to be some kind of bear face or whatever is here as well. But watch as we continue. This ram face turns. I'm sorry, the frame is jumping and skipping, but I'm trying to do this while zoomed in. Okay, here this ram face is turned into a skull with teeth. I'm an Aries too. And let's, everybody take a nice deep breath, okay? No matter what, this does not change anything. Okay. Now, you can come over to this instrument and mess around with it too. I'll let you be the judge of this. But as we go through a few frames, we're backing up now a little bit. Oh, whoops. Okay, that structure is what was the plasma was latched onto. That's your slow motion event right here. Whoops, I'm trying to keep the frame from skipping. Okay, well, and then it kind of diminishes and moves on, but very different event going on right there, you guys. You should come over here, take a peek, zoom in. There was another. Well, come back here, you. Trying to do this while still zoomed in is a little tricky here, so just bear with me. Oh, there's like that little baby skull head right there with the ear. See this little head right inside of here? And still the ram's horns. Very, very interesting. And then we got something else blasting up here, going around it. So these objects, as they come out, they can shape stuff. It's almost like they're drawing stuff with their movements and the way they arc and stuff. Okay, very, very, very fascinating stuff. I mean, fascinating. You get caught up in it, huh? Whoops, did I say that word too early? Are you guys caught up in this stuff yet? Because you ain't seen nothing yet, all right? So there's your activity for today. I'm going to go ahead and start it up again. Now watch it in motion when it comes out. Well, D-res, unfortunately, there are signs in the sun, and you're seeing spiritual signs around the sun. The sun is not exactly what you think it is, okay? Anyway, so there's your activity for the day. And D-res, I'm so glad to see you back, bud. I'm glad to see you back here at this channel. Kind of bring back some old memories. All right, then you can see the bigger object up above here when it comes out and blasts and moves off with all the moons and stuff with it. All right, so kind of a spooky show tonight, all right? And we're going to deal with some other spooky subjects as well. So, but your faith is strong. You guys will hang in there. You'll be fine. Okay? Do not let this move you or rattle you. It's just part of the process. Okay? Now, let's move on because we got more stuff still to go. Okay? So, yeah, we need to get D-res a wrench, dude. Oh, I can do that here soon. I can go to my next or my last live stream now and hit up the chat and finally throw some wrenches out there. All right, let's get her started here. Okay, solar flux indice down 21 points, but still high at 227. We're still in the red, but I will take any kind of reduction we can get, and down 21 points is great. That I am fine with that. All right, our sunspot number count is down too, another 30 sunspots less, so we're down to 164. Okay, so that's even better news right there. Our area is turning green. Ooh, even better news. Okay, let's pop this open really quick and just do our little show here, and then we can get back to the fascinating stuff. Okay, AR-387-84 still this, well, let's just call it bipolar because it's the inverted, all right? Blue should be, well, it's north-south, and it should be east-west with the blue on the left and red on the right, but this defies all physics, right? Anyways, there's a reason it's latched onto one of them objects. Okay, those objects have a different polarity, and their different polarity is affecting this, causing an inverted sunspot. I mean, what else is going to affect the sun except something bigger than the sun? Ah, something bigger than the sun can affect the sun. Well, when we see strange activity like this, and we see, well, for lack of a better term, strange activity like this, it's no wonder why we got an inverted, very intense too, dark blue. Okay, so, and these things are so close together, I'm surprised it's not just one big arc that's just sitting there going zzz, one long constant X flare. But it's not, so that's good, but very highly dangerous spot right there, okay? Already spit an X flare at us. Now, let's scooch around a little bit. I want you to note there's a little bit going on there. Nemesis, yes, Nemesis. See the big black one that's when it comes through here? Yeah. Boom. It's bigger, way bigger. We showed you another one last night. We'll go to that one a little later. Meanwhile, back to this 3788. 3789, they're not much, but they're popping up. You've got something else coming over the limb. Meanwhile, say goodbye to 3788. It's on the limb here. One more day and it should be gone. Okay. But that's our main culprit right there. All right, now let's get back to this. I'm going to come on over and slide on down to our GOES X-ray flux today. Okay, get a little peek at that for you guys. You can see big difference in activity from yesterday to today, all right? But we did see another big object event. It just didn't come our direction or hit this instrument. You see what I'm saying? It came off at a different angle. But there's 1, 2, 3 in a row right there that are possibly coming at Earth. Okay. We're going to have to brace for a little geomagnetic storming here when this comes in. So, meanwhile, we got some activity going into the next day right here. We could take a peek into the future if you'd like. I mean, if there was this, we saw big old objects with this kind of activity, no telling what could be in this. Well, guys want to take a peek? No? You don't? Are you kidding me? You don't want to go back here and take a little peek at this right here? It hasn't even been opened yet. You guys don't want to open this one up? Well, tough. We're going to do it anyway. Oh, you guys are good sports. Hopefully you understand I'm just trying to lighten up the show a tad bit during the, well, very strange things that we got to deal with. So you see this strange little arc right here going right. It's reacting to something. That's light bending right there, okay? And this one, it's kind of hard to tell what's going on here. Let me get that out of the way and that out of the way. Okay, good. Now I'm trying to see what's going on here. Kind of bright. All right, first of all, let's catch the opening frame. It's only 15 frames really quick, so bingo. Here we are, opening frames. Is that really the opening? Okay, 024. Now look how this plasma is coming out. It's already arcing, okay? Most of our solar activity does not come out already bending like this. Here's a black object right there, possibly bending light. This polarity is attaching to the northern pole of this. Possibly. That's what it kind of looks like. It may be, well, you see how magnetic field lines, let me zoom in just a tad bit more on this one. How these magnetic field lines are crisscrossing around this object right here, out in front, and then down here. Something going on. What's this? Oh, hang on just a second. I got critter. Where is that critter? Right here? I just heard it. All right, I guess we're okay. Whew, sorry. I live out in the desert, and we got some critters out here every once in a while. Strange activity going on, something right here too. There's our object, another round or something there. Okay, note how. Let me slide this back down. Oh, we gotta zoom out a little bit. So I was gonna say, note how this thing is taking off. It looks like it's either bending to go above this object or possibly even wrapping around something else. This is a different type of vent here. See the crossing of these magnetic lines? This one's coming off of like a northern pole. This one coming off a southern reach, and they're crossing right there. Something's crisscrossing the magnetic field lines. All right, we'll get more data once this finishes developing here. This almost looks like... Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that what's happening? Something sitting right there for a second? Yeah, that's what's happening. There's something right here with the little satellite, it looks like. Because right here you can see this plasma. Wow, look at this really quick. Look at these readings right here, where the you can see our round object. It'd be right in here, and then leave these little readings as it flares off the top right here. Let's see if we can get it right there. There we go. We got another event going on here, you guys. All right, so there was a little peek into the future there. Glad we looked. Okay, good. Now let's zoom out and finish up this report and move on. Okay, here we go. Geomagnetic forecasting for the next 2 days is nothing on the 17th, but we're looking for G1 on the 18th because that's the X flare that just got launched in our face yesterday. Okay, there's X1.1 right here that caused a type 2 radio blackout. Meanwhile, X flare dropped to 20%, M flare down to 65%. Possibly our sunspot, that AR70 or the 84, is kind of losing power, so they dropped this to from 25 and in red to 20 in green. So a little bit good news there too. All right. Meanwhile, we have some auroras, a little bit going on right now. It's not too much. We're only at KP, well, a little bit below KP3, which is good. All right. We don't need any more absorption events. The Earth is like reflexing right now and reacting to all the absorption that we just took, the pressure that built up down below and is now coming back up to the surface, and thus that's why things are rumbling. Okay, that was his title. So meanwhile, 88 beta gamma but declining, 84 beta gamma delta but declining. Finally, it's declining. That's good. Okay. Beta gamma delta here on 3780, it's declining as well, but it's rotating around 2 off the limb. Okay. Really quick, let's just do the tracker, even though we still want to take a little peek here at impact right here between the 18th and the 19th. Still our little double bump with that cap. Well, the M flare that came out before it, and then the little X flare behind it. So we'll see how this pans out. All right. So meanwhile, back to this. Let me come over to real quick. Long duration X1.1. That was yesterday at 84. Coronagraph imagery. This is still old news. Okay, let's move on. Now we're coming over here to spaceweather.com. Okay, and orange auroras. Okay, there was a mistake I think made earlier today, and I didn't get to catch all of the show, but just to kind of put you guys' minds at rest for a minute here, there's an article here, blue flash from Venus. Okay, and in the article it says the Italian photographer Palma here was watching Venus sink into the sunset when something extraordinary happened. A piece of the planet broke away and turned blue. Okay, a piece of the planet did not break off. Even though these pictures make it look like that, we need to finish the article because it says this is a very rare blue flash from Venus. Okay. Now, have you heard of the green flashes? You know, when the sun is setting and you get this one little pop of green right off the top of the sun. Okay. It's an optical effect. Okay. It's just scattering light. They're sometimes seen when the sun's setting at the sea. Temperature inversions and strong thermal gradients in the air above the sea surface split the sun into red, green, blue colors and magnified the green into a dramatic flash above the setting sun. Okay, we've all seen the little green flash, all right? So blue flashes are formed in the same way as green flashes. However, blue flashes are harder to see because air molecules and aerosols scatter blue light. But when the air is exceptionally clear, blue flashes emerge. This is Venus at sunset, and a little blue flash, or green flash really, came off of it, and it just happened to get it a little bit blue. tint into it, okay? So even though it says a piece of the planet broke away and turned blue, that's what the pictures seem to indicate. But down here, see, it's important that we take, same with the Bible. You can't just take one quote out, okay? I'm not sure if he cleared that up, but I love my brother there. And I've made mistakes like this before as well. Okay. So, you know, just be forgiving, and hopefully we all understand a piece of the planet didn't actually break away. Okay. Everybody take a nice deep breath and exhale. Because if a piece of Venus broke away, remember how I was telling you there were other side effects happening to other planets and that we could expect to see those side effects? And we made that list and we fulfilled that list long ago. Okay. Well, if we saw chunks of Venus getting torn away, you might want to expect that happening here. So it's a good thing this isn't a piece. It's a blue flash, okay? It's a optical effect, much like the sun setting with a green flash. This is a little bit different than the sun, okay? It's reflecting the sun. Venus isn't a star. Venus is reflecting light off the sun, much like the moon does. So it gives back just a tad bit different spectrum of light than the sun would, thus turning green maybe into blue as well. See what I'm saying? The gases that reflect off this surface here, because they're gases on Venus. Okay. But everybody breathe a sigh of relief, even though it says a piece broke off. It didn't. Now back to our regular report. And please forgive if we didn't clear that up. Okay. All right, here we go. Wanted to talk about this. Wednesday's X1 class solar flare from 84 hurled the faint CME towards Earth. The minor G1 class geomagnetic storms are still possible when it arrives. Don't be surprised if it's a little higher because of the object that induced this that's coming along with carrying radiation that it absorbed also, okay? Trailing, radiation, just it's actually powerful itself, the whole object. So don't be surprised. Our minor G1, we see a big jump to a 3 or 4. All right. I pray it doesn't happen. I pray I'm wrong. Okay. I don't want to see G4. You know, I'm a stickler for absorption. I don't want to see G4. But at this channel, we're not surprised when that happens. Okay. There's a reason why. Back to the NOAA forecasters predict that August 18th leans more towards the 17th now, the impact. So we'll see when it gets here. These auroras should not be orange, but they are during this week's severe G4. Remember, it got up to G4. It was only supposed to be G2, so that one caught people off guard. Not here at this channel, though. Tony saw something rare, a little mysterious, orange auroras. Yes, orange. And I'd never seen this color in auroras before. It's a very beautiful picture right there. That little area sure is orange. Okay. So they're beautiful displays, but they're a sign that there's a lot of radiation hitting us. Okay. You can come over and finish the article and stuff with this one here. So it's important that we do kind of finish the article sometimes. And I pray that he did that and cleared that up. I didn't get to see the rest. But, in case. Okay. Anyways, here we are at your human. And, yeah, I heard a oh shit out there. Mm-hmm. It's okay. That's your bumpy day right there. Okay. A little roller coaster ride. We studied this impact last night. We saw pressure relief around the globe as this thing relieved. Okay, a little spike again built up, but then it smoothed out. A little skip, little bump, and then bingo. We just did another session not too long ago. Okay, here we go. Let me refresh this and just make sure we get the very freshest data here. Okay, now we're coming out of this session right here. You see how it's tapering off? This almost looks like another pass of an object interfering with the ionosphere, which echoes back the readings. So we could be getting like a false reading from another magnetic field. it seems to me that maybe we did get, well, you know what? There's no like blank line in front of it. In fact, there is this small little buildup of pressure. There is a small tapering up. This is another pressure event. Yeah, because look right in here. There is something there. So, not a sudden blast. Those sudden blasts have like a little gap right before them, and they just look odd. You could tell there's a difference. But if I look closer here, I can't really zoom in too much. I don't want to lose my focus on this. But you can see this little red part right before it. So we had another pressure build, release, went to normal, pressure, release, pressure. Okay. It's like it having every radio station on your radio in your car turned on and someone turns up the volume. It's all these frequencies from 0 all the way past 40, because this only goes up to 40 and it's going off the map. Okay, off the chart. So all those at a very intense level can cause pain, all kinds of irritability. Some people feel energized, does all kinds of things to animals as well. But as you can see, it tapered off and we're going back to normal. We had that G4 storm, we had absorption, we start grinding. Any other little burp that hits us, we're pretty close to the grinding level right there. So any little trailing energy hits us, it starts grinding again. And that was your latest event. Okay, now hold on tight, folks. Here we are over at Null School, and this is a pretty nasty typhoon about to bear down on Tokyo, one of the biggest cities in the world. Okay. It's gonna be probably very devastating for that country right now. They just suffered one that went across the northern part up here not too long ago, and they're trying to clean up from that. Here comes more, I guess. All right, so our thermal pockets out here causing strange loops in the weather, strange conveyor belt structure here. Look at this. We have a serious dip right here. We'll go over to the thermals in a minute and look at that. Yeah, 40-foot waves in Ernesto. Some different weather features definitely going on, okay? So as we kind of come around, here's our other storm, okay? It's getting caught up in this, in the conveyor belt structure out here. So that's good. It's not going up the coast, maybe hit Bermuda, but at least it didn't wallop the East Coast or go right up the middle like a buzzsaw. So it looks like we dodged a bullet there. That's good as well. Now, I want to come over here and take you to the particulates, the sandstorm. Take off the wind and clear the map. All right, so here's your current ongoing sandstorm here. Still this very intense plume coming off the Africa, swirling around out here. We're getting a little break right there. Look at these two same little signatures right here. They almost look identical. Boom, boom. All right, let's put some wind to that really quick because we need to see what's going on there. Okay, good. There's no rotation here at this one yet. But look, it could possibly do it. It's on that conveyor belt structure right there. So let's pray that the sand kind of diffuses this one. This one gets sucked up and goes away. It looks like we have a different conveyor belt structure. Something must have opened up. We have a different pattern flow tonight. I can definitely recognize the difference from last night. Okay, so sand going across, still go over to there. Meanwhile, going this way, North Africa, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman. You got all kinds of, sand plumes up here now, and then the Gobi Desert as well. So lots of sandstorms going on. And then last night, when we were doing this, there was this plume ongoing. I want to make sure that this because there are deserts on the backside of these mountains down here, and it almost looks like this concentration down here almost seems like it's being from this area pushing into it. But we do have a little bit that comes down and feeds. It doesn't clear the Andes and make it to the Pacific, so it'll build up on the backside of these and then possibly get sucked down into there and concentrated. We'll have to keep an eye on that. The air patterns just changed there today, so it kind of added a little bit of, well, plausible deniability. You guys understand what plausible deniability is and how they use that against you? Yes, indeedy. Here's one at Australia still, though. Okay, so Australia's still enduring their own sandstorm, and it looked like we had South America kind of doing its own thing too. So sandstorm activity happening, on the southern hemisphere as well. I'll let you be the judge of that. A lot of this air that's coming in from here is all clear air. Most of this coming in and feeding this is clear air. Kind of separating, look at this, it kind of separating this stuff from this stuff. Would you agree? I'll let you guys be the judge of this because that's why I like to pull these up so you can see with your own eyes. This appears to be fresher, uncontaminated air. I mean, no sand in it. Coming in, feeding, separating, keeping that stuff north, and then turning this way and creating its own sandstorm down here. I think we're seeing a separate individual sandstorm here. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, let's just we got sandstorms both north and southern hemisphere now, okay? Since last night that one was going, or I noticed it, that one going too. All right, so wow. There's your sandstorm report, I guess. Now let's move on to the chemicals. Get on over to the SO2, take off the wind. Rotate this ball and zoom in. Okay. There it goes again. Country divided. Bleeding out on this side, all kinds of little pockets of SO2 because we got soft porous, ground on that side. Meanwhile, over here, very volcanic, rough, rocky, mountainous area, and all your emission sites are volcanic sites. But country divided. Meanwhile, we come on up. We put on the fires. We'll do a fire report real quick here, too. Okay, and it's going to come in handy, it's going to get more serious as we go here. So, meanwhile, our activity up here in Canada looks to be kind of dying down. Our plumes are very strong, but the fire activity seems to have diminished, which is good. It was creeping on down into the northern states. Here's Washington and Oregon still having a couple of fires here at emission sites. Okay, this gas comes out of the ground so hot that, it causes spontaneous combustion in the vegetation around it. It can dry it out really quick and then make it catch on fire. Okay, is this the gas that surrounds magma down below? It seeps up through the pores, the cracks, the perforations in the crust, and when it comes out of the ground red hot, it sparks fires. So a lot of these fires are being sparked by SO2 emissions from underground. Okay, I don't think they want you knowing that some of these fires, there's nothing they can do about them because they're being started underground. So now this activity kind of started creeping south here. We do still see up here, California. I know that's more Oregon a little bit. Down here a little bit in California, it was creeping into this area down in Mexico. Kind of that area diminished a little bit. You can see maybe one or two sites, but all in all, it used to have creeped across this line, like, well, that's not a very good one. Nope. I wouldn't even call that one, even though it's darn close. Usually, the fires that come out of the hot spot is very dark. I mean, those aren't, I'm not going to qualify those ones, but these ones up here, that is a fire from a hot spot. Okay. Right here, you can tell. And not every fire is caused by SO2 emissions, and not, these SO2 emissions aren't because of the fires. Because, see, there's fires without SO2 emissions, like down here, and then there's ones, so it's not the fires that are causing the SO2. Meanwhile, up through there, you can see it's kind of still spreading around North Canada. We come down through here, and see, now these spots are hooking up, so that's good. It seems to have retreated a little bit. That's good. While we're in this time zone, I'm just going to go ahead and take those down and just go on down through Mexico, let you see Cuba, Jamaica. We have activity up here at top of South America, running all the way down the edge. We also have our fulcrum point that we check in on. It's nice and dark tonight, well defined. So is this one up above it. The other two, not so much, but the newer one that's parked on the coast here used to be just 3. Then we gained a 4th, and then we gained this guy lately. So, and it's flared up a little bit. So I'd say this region's got some pressure. It's pushing a lot of gas out right there right now. You look down through here, this is all high pressure, lots of SO2 coming out. It relieves pressure along this plate boundary, keeping the quake magnitudes down in that area. Okay, that's what it does. Stop off in Hawaii, make a visit. Hello. All right, anyways, good plumage coming out of here, because the hub of the Pacific Rim has to vent some of the pressure as well. And it's usually volcanic, forming islands. But it's good that we're having just SO2 and not volcanic activity out of Oahu, even good out of Maui. Over here, we're having SO2 at the main island, but over here we can see volcanic activity over here, all right? That'd be okay, as long as it doesn't happen on this island, okay? So checking in on Hawaii, it's doing the same thing. What kind of weird looking face we got on there today? The eye, the nose, and then the wicked eye. All right, now what we want to do is come on over here and adjust for their time really quick. All right, here's China. Up in this region, filling back in a little bit. It looked like it was starting to fade in this area, but now it seems to have starting to fill back in. Meanwhile, we're going into Taiwan, and a lot of SO2 emissions out of here. We did have some quake activity out of this region today. Finally, I was relieved when I saw there was a quake there today. So it's good, but it's still not enough. A lot of pressure in that area, a lot of SO2 coming out of the ground right there. Come down to check on Java. Everybody got their Java. All right, so there's a couple emission sites right here. And the rest of the island looking, well, typical. It's doing its job. All these other little islands, these volcanic islands, you see them emitting SO2. It's funny, when you take the islands away, you see the little emission sites, and then let go of the button, they all fill in. So a lot of pressure being vented through this whole little corridor right here, and that's your plate boundary system that runs right up through here, right along the coast. All right, Sumatra, a lot of SO2 emissions, Malaysia, Australia, even down to the south, Tasmania, and yeah, even New Zealand, brand new spot, actually intensifying right there. Okay, White Island, volcano going off there as well. Just added on to the list. Meanwhile, we come up here, you look through Russia, you look through Europe, you look through Saudi Arabia. All these guys are in hot water, man. They are in deep trouble. They better figure things out and better work hard at some peace over here in this region, or all that will become a very dark purple. And you can see what's going on here, which regions are being like targeted or picked out. Then, as we look up here to the top of the world, we have all the heat induced stuff that's going on up here, as well as SO2 emission sites, because there's all that heat and all that pressure going on up here. It's pushing SO2 out of the ground up here in Siberia and then way up in the tundra up there. Okay. All right, so there's your SO2 report. All right, so we're going to have to do an SO4 also. SO4, also another sulfide, okay, sulfur quad oxide. It has 4 oxygen atoms per molecule as opposed to 2. It's not SO2, it's SO4. It has 2 extra atoms of oxygen. Now, this gas comes out of the ground and it's man-made as well, but that's not what we're here for. See, this is a particulate, okay? It adheres to water. Water makes raindrops out of particulates, right? It needs a particulate to adhere to. Well, this particulate happens, it doesn't adhere to it. It actually chemically bonds with it, creating a new chemical compound. So when SO4 is in the air, it hooks up with the water molecules in the air. And when you mix H2O with SO4, you get a new compound called H2SO4 or sulfuric acid. Okay, H2SO4 is sulfuric acid, and all this, or all the particulates and components for making sulfuric acid out of your storms. Okay, now you see this typhoon, typhoon hammering down on Japan right now. You see all the SO4 that's in it. Yeah, that's an acid rain hurricane. Okay, you see how these storms pick it up? And it mixes with what? Water. Oh, and a storm's made out of what? Water. Uh-oh, yeah. And it's, well, the white is the higher concentrations here, just so you can see the legend here. White being the higher end of the concentration. And it's all over the place. Okay. If you don't believe me, go look up just basic chemistry. Go take a chemistry 1-2 class. They'll teach you what H2SO4 is. It's quite simple. It's really been well known and documented for a long time. Anyways, there's your acid rain report. Now we got to come back over here to the ocean now. Okay, everybody take a deep breath. Here we go. Surface temperature anomalies. These are sea surface temperature anomalies. Remember, this is water temperature, but this water temperature is caused by heat plumes coming off the bottom of the ocean. These are plumes at the top from like a vent down below, all right? And they're aberrations, they're anomalies. They're not supposed to be like this. They're supposed to be more standard like that. Holy crap, look how the standard has changed with the whoa. Ooh. Okay, let's just keep going. All right, there's your new little pocket right here on the Pacific. The comma shape has like fallen away. You can see the remnants in red being cooler. Okay, let's pull up your legend really quick. Yellow being hotter, white the hottest, your red, your orange, and then red being cooler of the hot end. Okay, understand how that works? Good. Now, Your cool water inundation coming along the west coast right here, fending off a lot of this and a lot of the pressure, kind of keeping it out here. Apparently, there's a very good source out here on the Pacific floor out here. Also, Tamumasi. All right, and then this area down here at the bottom of Baja now seems to be a newer spot. Coming on over to here. Whoa, it's still that same character doing the same thing. I think I know what's going on here. Meanwhile, this area is starting to reach down further. See, well, where's my pointer? The other night it was like above this latitude line. Okay, now look below my pointer here. You see this area down in here, an area down in here. We're getting hotter. Little newer spots opening up down here. And that's this stuff right here. I bet has changed the flow. That's what's changed our conveyor belt. Before we put that on, let's just take a quick peek at the top of the world. There's going to be a lot of ice melting. There's going to be some flooding in these northern areas. You guys, I'm telling you, coastal regions, when a lot of this ice melts, you're going to see water inundation. Remember the water inundation maps I showed you? We're going to have to start addressing that here pretty soon as well. Meantime, let's put the winds on. Wind. Okay. Your conveyor belt structure right here in the Atlantic has your hurricane in it, so has kind of warped it and changed it a little bit. This has actually changed the structure, which is going to pull it up and away from America. That's good. And we got sand that's coming off of Africa that's cut everything off to like right about here, huh? And can you see why? Look at our flow has changed. It's actually doing a reverse now. That could be if we get these sand plumes coming off and they just stop right there and they reverse and come out and reverse and they only extend out to mid-Atlantic, that means anything after this area, see how everything's separating going this way? We could see structure, hurricane genesis, stuff, brewing and starting in this area if this pattern continues. These things are changing so quick every day. It's like if I don't report on them every day, it changes so much over the course of 2 days. You're like, what? How'd that happen? But what we're seeing here is a tear away of this. It's actually pulling energy away from our conveyor belt. It's tearing it apart, sucking it back. This rotation could be bad news for our sand plumes. Only come out to here, and like I said, then you could start seeing hurricane genesis in this region. And then we got to back out of this really quick. Just leave that there really quick, because hurricane genesis starting where? From this region right here, I said. Oh, wait, right there where the winds separate. Look at the temperature of the water for hurricane genesis and our flow in that region. Anything born out here is going to go woo and come right up through here if we continue with this pattern. Thankfully, that one got pulled away. But you can see, look at this structure up here. Usually this is like a nice smooth line, nice current or gentle color changes. They're very rude, very abstract, very different. Look how this heat plume is way up here in the yellow. Then we go back. Whoops. Let me put that right there so you can see that. And then I'm going to go back to the surface temperature anomaly. See? It's already affecting the standard surface temperatures, okay? And what happens is hot air builds up over the hot water, cold air over the cold water. Well, hot air rises, cold air rushes in to replace it, and you get rotation. And you can see rotation correlating with our cold-hot heat structures. Our cold-hot vortexes are what's controlling our weather now. And there's your Pacific pattern. I'm just going to leave it there. Let you guys look at that for a minute instead of jumping all over the place. Okay. Meanwhile, this typhoon over here, you can see our cold, hot, whoa, don't do that. Our cold, hot right next to each other, causing rotation. Let's just hope that thing crosses and continues and doesn't just park there. That would be even worse. If it just stood right there and didn't move, that would be terrible. Oh my. Oh my. All right, you see how all this yellow area, let me take the wind down now. We got to do a report here on Taiwan here. Look at how all this yellow has inundated this area, and we had a good 6 there today. We'll see in the earthquake report. I would expect after a 6 that we would see a reduction in heat. This quake that went on, or these quakes that went on right out here, may have opened something up instead. Remember how this area was locked up? And we saw a good 6 out of this region. We're going to do the quake report here in just a sec, so keep this fresh on the front burner. We're coming right back to that. I got to take a peek down here really quick. Java, you see Java relieves a lot of pressure, and you got cold water right there, so it's doing its job as a relief valve. Same with these little islands along here. Okay, we're also seeing heat plume right there, tip of India. Just the scatterings down here still. In between Madagascar and Africa now. Let me pull back this whole system of hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold down below here. You're either hot or you're cold. I'll spit down here. Let's do the currents really quick. I'll show you something. Excuse me. Lord, why you do that to me when I'm trying to live stream? Okay. Hot water rises, cold water sinks, it goes in to replace it, and you get vortex rotation. And it's not hot water going to hot water, hot to cold, hot to cold, hot to cold, hot to cold. You're either hot or you're cold. I'll spit you out. Back over to the wind. Take out that wind. Take out that thing. All right. Same thing. Over here, South America, they're having their issues too offshore. Okay, they're in the middle of their wintertime down there. So they shouldn't be having heat anomalies way out here. Just like their North Pole. Okay, there's Antarctica. Just off the coast of Antarctica, up here off the coast of South America, you got your heat anomalies there as well. All right, let's put her on Taiwan. Oh, wait. Well, we got 2 spots to talk about tonight. Taiwan and the Wanda Fuca. So for right now, let's leave it right there and move on to our earthquake report. Thank you for hanging in there. You guys are troopers, you know that. Try to go through this stuff as quick and as fast as I can, because I know most of you are here for the spiritual report now. Or some of you like this stuff still. All right. Meanwhile, right here at Fiji now, our deep quakes aren't right here, over here, up there. They're getting really close to the islands. 4.3, which is a little under our normal. Okay, down at 585. All along here. Bingo. 4.6. 4.7. 4.5. 4.9. You know what we do with 4.9s here? Yeah. You add them to the 4.9 list that goes so long you could wrap it around the world. All right. Meanwhile, I'm just being sarcastic. I'm sorry. In a weird mood tonight. Meanwhile, over here, where energy kind of starts to take effect here at the beginning of the plate boundary, we have this island that spews SO2, emitting pressure. It's like the pinholes in a bicycle tube. All right, it's a slow leak right here. So when pressure builds up right under here, you see it boiling up from down below, starts to hit this first crack and move through it. Pressure gets relieved, 5 at the surface kind of energy. There's 4.3 at 162 at Vanuatu. Okay, this is not on the plate boundary. This is down at 162, which is usually earthquake activity at a volcanic site. Okay, that's a volcanic island. You can see the little seamounts around it, but you can see the footing around the base of this right here, and that would be on the flank of a volcano. Do you understand how that works? 4.3, down at 162, flank of a volcano, sign of pressure down below. Current, that was a new one. Coming up through here, been kind of quiet through this region lately, but we do have a little bend right here, not necessarily a really sharp fulcrum, but energy wants to go in a straight line. So the energy coming up through here, no, it keeps going and pushing inland. And you get a 5-0 here at 35. And this looks to be, well, this is a volcanic island. These are all little seamounts around it and stuff. You see this little wall type structure right here. Used to almost maybe be a previous beach, maybe, or just offshore. And then you can see this is part of this whole island. Okay, another volcanic island. See all the volcanoes on it? 1, 2, 3. There's one over there. So your 5 energy down at 35. The boom, another energy. See, it wants to change direction, but it doesn't. This is changing direction, but it doesn't want to. 5.3 at 10. The surface right there, just offshore here. Perfect. I've been waiting for some energy at that island right there for a minute. And we did. We got 2 5s and a 5.3. Meanwhile, beginning of this plate, this crack right here is a 4.6 at the surface, relieving that energy right there. As we come into Java and all these volcanic islands, they're having a lot of emissions and 5s down at 219. That's not on the plate barrier. A little seamount right next to it, though, or a little weakness. Nope. Kind of hard to see. Well, maybe a new little spot growing right there. See how this little volcano grew right off the plate boundary? Little weakness right there, 4.9. You know what we do with those here. Okay, other side. Bingo. 4.4 down at 84 in that little trough area. Okay, here's Java. All right, we see all the SO2 coming out of there. We got Merapi and Semeru going off here, and still earthquake activity. We had 3 5s in this area yesterday, and here's another 5 down at 10 at the surface right there, just off the plate boundary. Look at this, even another one off the coast of Sumatra, a 4.4 at the surface right there. You guys okay out there? Hopefully I didn't drop you on your head there. Okay, so SO2, volcano, and earthquake activity along our relief valve area doing its job. Okay, that's good. Coming up through here, this little pit area sometimes gets deep quakes, but this is a different little spot. See how this curvature of this island comes around here? Look at this. A 4.4. It's 66, right along this little mountain ridge right here. Interesting area right there. I'd love to vacation there. Okay, 4.5, 187. Little seamount probably in that area now. Coming up here, Taiwan finally had a 6.1 at 14. Probably a little bit bigger than that because we have some other little quakes in the area that released. A 5.4 at 11. All right, go. Still there. Move it. 4.5 down at 35 here. Now, all of these quakes here combined, that's a little bit of magnitude. We got a 6 and a 5 what? 5.4. And then these other ones, so that's a fair amount of energy that got released there. But then when we come over here, it actually increased in temperature. I almost wonder if we had a subsurface like crack or fracture, since we're not having quake activity right at the fulcrum, something else happened. Or this bigger one jostled something loose in that area because it seemed to have been locked up for a while. Because that's right at 14. That's a little deeper than our regular 10 surface, but it's right up in there. It's right in that fulcrum tight spot, right there. And I bet you that jostled some. What's a timestamp? 16. Sorry, I got to do this real quick. 1635. This one was 206. It was way earlier. Then there's this at 1635. This one, this 5.4 happened first. Then that one was an aftershock. And then this one was third. And this is our latest one, the 6.1 out of there. So we're seeing a gradual uptick. The first was a 5.4. Okay. A couple aftershocks and then 6.1. So energy being relieved in that area, but possibly because we have had a subterranean rupture or something, because there's a lot of heat coming out of that area. And usually an earthquake would relieve that. So we're going to have to watch this really close now, because that used to be a reliable relief valve. And when I saw a 6 there, I was totally expecting to see a drop in temperature here, and it went the other way. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'll let you be the judge of that as well. You guys are wise. You're mature adults. Cold water inundation down here. All right, back to the earthquake report. We're almost done here. Now, here we are, 4.5 at 21. I don't know how to describe this. This is a 3-way plate boundary right here. Okay. Very, very 3-way fulcrum point, too. Okay. There's a fulcrum point in that way, a fulcrum point in this way, and one point in that way. So it's a 3-way junction with a volcano. Okay. And then it goes across land and across land out into the bay. Any kind of fracture right there would send a tsunami right into the water, right into there. There's more than just this one volcano. There's one here. There's another one there. Okay, those are all previous perforations in the crust, right next to a 3-way fracture zone. And then you've got Tokyo. Lots, whoops, let me take this down. Lots and lots of people. Okay. Now, very dangerous situation that they precariously put themselves in. And when we kind of come back over here to Japan and put the wind on, ooh, let's go to the air again. Where are we? Okay. Do you see where we're at here? They just had an earthquake while getting hit with the typhoon. Well, this is earlier today, probably. Not too long ago. All right, pray for the people of Tokyo. Pray for the people of Japan. All right, they're about to get walloped. All right, meanwhile, over here, 4.5, 108. Nothing in Europe. Very quiet in this area. Mount Etna going off like crazy. I should dig around and find some scary video for you, but I don't want to give you anxiety. 4.4, 10 up there. Try not to. Too bad. All right, all through here, quake activity. They're just not reporting it. Okay, we are seeing heat anomalies. There's magma, nickel, all kinds of stuff coming out of the ocean floor there, heating up the surface. So, fulcrum point quake, 4.3. Ooh, other side of the mountains here. See, this is where that desert region is and where they're having that sandstorm. But over here, Okay, you see the mountains, you see our pressure ridges that build up just like a snow push in front of a snow plow. That's your weak zone. These are all like fracture zones, weak zones. There's your 3.9. That's even deep. That's, uh-oh. Whoa. 530. Okay, you see your fulcrum point right here and how your pressure, whoops, your fulcrum point right here, pushed inland, right? You see the pressure waves that come off the right side of the fulcrum down to here. Pressure pushing up underneath here and fracture your little fracture zone here on inland and your rolling foothills right here is releasing that energy right there. We'll have to watch it. That's a very delicate spot. We could see a new weak spot right there grow, even though it's just one little quake. It's in a very delicate spot right there. Okay. Now, really quick on this one, 4.474, and let's go all magnitude for US and bang that out. Please, Lord, help me. I'm just trying to do this the best I can. Okay. No fulcrum points. We come on in very quiet through these volcanic islands through there. Finally, a little bit of activity here and there. I want a magnitude check here. 3.8. Okay, so there's 3.8 magnitude energy underneath there. Okay, it's enough pressure to rumble a 3.8. Okay, enough pressure to cause a 3.5 at the fulcrum. I want another fulcrum test. 2.2 there. Okay, multifulcrums, one underwater. Here's your actual plate boundary red line right there. That's a different fulcrum, okay, of its own. That's the fracture zone. The bay itself right here, you can see is a fulcrum off of this, and then they push back. There's a mountain ridge right back there. Another one back here. Okay, so they're multifulcrums, just like the snowplow effect. All right, let's move on. I want to, what was that one? 3.5. Okay, so 3.5 at the fulcrum up there. Nothing on Wanda Fuca, but let's dive into Washington real quick. Little micro quaking going on through there. That's good. Take a peek here. Mount Rainier, earthquake activity of volcano. Mount St. Helens, earthquake activity at a volcano. Those ones are quiet. Pushing onshore here in Oregon. Okay, remember we saw the other day quake in this region right here offshore. Now that pressure, it's not setting off on the plate boundary. It's not going into the weak zone. It's actually pushing onshore a little bit, and that's about the same magnitude we saw offshore yesterday. So it's kind of good. It's just a little transfer. It's just pushing deeper inland. Okay, good, good, good. Now, coming in from the fulcrum point, driving in on this red line, it doesn't want to change direction. It wants to drive inland, but there's no inland quake today. It's just the geysers right now going off. Okay, a lot of microquaking there. Magnitude check real quick. Yeah, biggest being like 1.3, mid ones. Okay, so microquaking, mid ones going on there, relieving pressure before it comes into the Bay Area. No quakes in the Bay, really. Little micro one down there, but that's nothing. Along the this is a little bit Hollister and Gilroy, a little further inland off of the plate boundary. Okay, where's my pointer? Let me get it just right. Okay, you see the San Andreas running like this. There are parallel faults that have like ripples that are further inland here. Okay, and you're getting your pressure that's not snapping on the San Andreas like right here at the pinnacles. It's pushing in a little bit further past it. Well, we just lost our plate boundary line. There it is, right there. So we'll have to kind of watch this. These ones kind of meet up. And this one runs parallel. They kind of come down like this. We'll have to watch this area a little bit. It's coming to life. Meanwhile, down here, this is a good sign too as well. These little microquake, well, not microquakes because we got 2.5 is not a microquake, but 1.8, mid-range 1, still kind of quaking out here. 2.6 right there. So mid-range 2s, mid-range 1s kind of quaking out right there. We're leaving a lot of energy in that area. Instead of having a big old 8.5, you could have a bunch of these little microquakes instead. Okay. A little pocket still here at Cirrus Valley. This was a new site out here that had woken up. Just quick magnitude checks. Indian Springs. Okay. 3 here in Aguna, California. I want to go over here. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. 3.8 in Texas, and this is pretty close to the surface. We all understand man-made perforations in the crust. Bingo, 2s and 2.5s, mid-range 2s and 2s going on here in New Mexico. We had this one in this 3 in Texas. Up here, another 2.8 in Texas as well. Some activity up here in Oklahoma as well. This is all indications of pressure down below underneath the 3.2 here in Oklahoma. All right. It's a craton running like that. Okay, so your pressure pushing in a little bit there into Texas. And then that was it. I think that's all she wrote. Little activity up here, Yellowstone. Okay, it's a volcanic region, so a little quake activity in there is no surprise when we see pressure build up. Okay, so there's your quake report. Now, let me start Xing out of some of these instruments here and do the weather really quick. Oh, no, we got volcano weather. Oh, I can't get rid of that one. No, that's special. So volcano. Thanks for hanging in there and bearing with me. You guys are practicing patience. We got 34 and 31. Uh-oh. We got 65 volcanoes now. We have a new one on the list somewhere. Shall we? Whoops. You gotta open that up, I think. Yeah. And close, open, close. Yep, 34 erupting and 31 in warning. That's 65 now. Okay. Stromboli. That's all that for that one little burp. Meanwhile, Etna is going crazy. Stromboli, the activity at the volcano started to increase yesterday afternoon. According to a report from the National Institute of Geophysics, new lava flow resulted from the intense spattering at the northern crater. Okay, Stromboli coming back to life, you guys. Well, because we got other stuff coming to life in there. Alade in the northern Kurils. Explosive activity continues, a 10,000-foot blast. This thing just jumps on the list at 10,000 feet. Alade, Estolov Island, Northern Kurils. The plume rose up to an estimated 10,000 feet. Okay, there's our new one, Alade. Oh boy, that's going to be I'll just be careful with the name. 6,000 out of Siwanisa White Island, scaring the crap out of the New Zealanders. Popocatépetl, Novier, 15 out of Santa Guido, 16 out of Fuego. Sangay, 20. Sabancaya, 24. They just changed the font on us or what? Sabancaya, 24. Okay. Usually 22, 23. It's pushing higher at 24. Okay. And that's just within the last few minutes. All right. let's go into today, which is now yesterday. Well, because time just flies at this channel, doesn't it? Time flies when you're having fun. All right. Etna, volcanic ash advisory. The eruption feeble activity. Well, picture taken from the east side Etna during the height of the paroxysm over the night of the 14th, 15th shows the impressive height reached by the lava fountains, possibly surpassing 1,500 meters. Yeah, these lava fountains were just shooting like crazy. If you were living next to that mountain while that was going off, you probably felt pretty, well, pretty rattled, pretty rumbled. You probably didn't feel too safe at going to sleep that night, right? Living right next to it. Meanwhile, it's going off. Violent paroxysm, okay? The lava fountaining episode began to diminish by 0:30. The decreasing trend lasted until about 1:20 when a high magnitude explosive activity came to an end. As expected, the activity has evolved into tall lava fountains from the central summit. Okay, we take on a G4 storm, we get big lava fountains. Understand why, right? Good. Tsunosejima, 7,000 feet. IBU at 8,000 feet. It's Ibu, but I like to say IB with you at 8,000 feet. Luatobi, 10,000. Semaru, 15. Wide Island, still scaring the crap out of the elite. Continuous low-level eruptions. Popocatépetl at 20,000. Fuego at 15. Sangay, there's 20 at Sangay. So it was 20 and then 24. Or no, that was Sabancaya. Sabancaya 23 and then just now 24. Okay. Reventador 14 and Sangay 20. Those are tall blasts. Okay. We do this every night. So it just gets so second nature. But 7 years ago, if I'd have told you you're going to see a 20,000 foot blast out of a volcano, you would have gone, yeah, right. No, I'm telling you, you're going to see ash plume come out of this volcano at 20,000 feet every day. Oh, give me a break. It's not even going off. The only volcano going off on the planet is Kilauea in Hawaii, and it just sits there, bubbles magma. Here we are. And this stuff is just like every day 14, 20, 15, 24. It gets, don't let this become mundane. The sense of urgency here is just being lost. I should be screaming these altitudes, but I'm not. I'm trying to maintain composure. But this is put each one of these, I want you to consider how much ash each one of these blasts continues to put in the air. They're hacking on you about your CO2 emissions. Well, one of these blasts just annihilated all your CO2 emissions. All the savings that you tried to save on CO2, one blast just took care of that. So your 4 years worth of saving and doing all that in electric cars and for nothing. One blast to take that out. Meanwhile, we're having blast after blast after blast after blast every day. Yeah. And nothing out of the mainstream media. It's like this problem doesn't even exist on the mainstream media, huh? They just pretend like, yep, this is normal activity. All right. I'm not going to pull up those lists. Those lists are actually bad for you. Can't look at them because they desensitize you into thinking that this is normal. This is way, way, way out of the norm. Meanwhile, we are going to load this up. Okay, sorry I get you guys worked up, but it's important that you see how blatantly obvious the changes are. Okay. Our mainstream media, shame on them. Shame on them. We have other fish to fry. There are bigger stories going on out there than the same old one over and over. You're just gonna beat that dead horse, man. All right. Meanwhile, we only have it on the 18th. Okay. The G1 storming. So let's just go through this. This is the current conditions right now, morning of the 16th, noon. convection. Watch out through that area as we get convection. I was watching Brandon Kopic today. You guys ought to chase some storms with that kid, man. He's a good old storm chaser, and he's very knowledgeable about how weather works. Okay. What was I going to say about him? Oh, he's chasing storms today, and the structure on these storms, these mesocyclone structures that are starting to form now, are getting into an area that's just, well, they're magnificent to look at. I mean, even if it doesn't put down a tornado, some of the storm structures, when you see them, are just this brand new style. And even the storm chasers are like, wow, look at this. So, meantime, this is going to be the convection of the 16th tomorrow. Severe chances in Ohio, maybe back down in Tennessee. That could shift if this center of rotation moves 1 degree. All that shifts. You understand that, right? Meanwhile, just because there's no severe in there doesn't mean heavy rain, flash flooding, all the particulates and all the water in the air. Nighttime, off on tangents. Convection of the 16th, nighttime the 16th. Morning of the 17th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 18th, noon, convection, nighttime. 19, noon, convection, nighttime. 20, noon, convection, nighttime. Anything after this is just kind of going through the motions. Looking pretty clear, actually. Get these little pop-ups afternoon, nighttime, but nothing too severe until way out there. Okay, and I'm really only concerned with our next 24 to 48 hours, 72 hours out, because that's as far as we can really be accurate. So tomorrow, the 16th, you see this low winding up. You see this big low, this comma structure. All right, this thing is winding up. It's gonna get serious. It's trying to. You see how it tightens up there a little bit at noon, and then unleashes with severe weather. 5 p.m. Pacific. That'll be 7, 8 o'clock out here, but that's when the sun goes down. That's the end of convection, and then all of a sudden, that's when the sky breaks loose. So watch out in the Ohio Valley up there. Ohio, it could shift back, could shift north or anything. You guys in that region, just watch your weather carefully tomorrow at convection when the sun goes down, and then it kind of tapers off at nighttime. You do see a little fire up back here, possibly at the tail. Okay, and that'll be around Kansas, possibly down into Oklahoma. And then it dissipates by the morning. A little shove into Canada, but then that's about it. Roll speckling right there at the nighttime of the 17th. All along there. Here, let me zoom in. Okay, you see these? Well, can't move my arrow. I hate that arrow. It's got a little tag on there. Little tiny individual supercell pop-ups here in this. It's almost like a double linear line, one here and another secondary kind of back behind it. So this rotation right here over the course of that day, watch it through convection and little chances at the nighttime right there. And don't just take my word from it. There's other weather channels and stuff that are, much more detailed, better instruments and everything. I'm just trying to give you the little rough draft real quick. Okay. So backing up, that's our events. And this is just hours away. That's the morning, noon, and convection of tomorrow. So you folks in those areas, stay alert. Little chances back at the tail at night. And then nothing until convection and nighttime on the 17th. After that, kind of clears up, moves out, and everything after that is unpredictable anyway. So, thank you for enduring the astrophysics, geophysics, weather, all that great stuff, all the, anxiety stuff. But it shouldn't build anxiety, because when you know the bigger picture, all this falls into line. So, what I have to show you tonight from the spiritual realm is a little scary, okay? We have to do sometimes some of the other side of the spiritual realm. I hate to do it, but we have to, because, it's part of it, all right? Can't be avoided. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just come on over here. Now I'm going to X out of some of these instruments here. And I'm going to leave this little image sitting there for a second. Some of you with eyes to see will see what's going on there. Others of you, well, it might take a minute. Now, this was over Potenza, Italy on May 3rd, 2024. 5/3/24. 5/3/24. Okay. I'm going to play. It's just a quick little snippet here. I'm going to try to capture this the best we can. It's right there. Okay, I've shown you faces in the clouds before. Do you see the face in the clouds? But it's a different face this time. I think if we go like this, you can actually see the eyes, right? Right there. Whoops. Ooh, it gets spooky. All right, but that is a real event over Italy, okay? And now we have Mount Etna going crazy over there. This is like a spiritual realm type warning for the people of Italy. If they had been looking up at the time, well, somebody was, they captured this, but I'm not even sure if they know what they're looking at. Do you know what you're looking at there? Multiple faces. All right, well, let's just kind of let that play. All right, and this is not my video. Somebody else captured this stuff too, okay? Now, this is over Italy, okay, where the Vatican is and Rome. You know why? You probably understand why he would be mad at Rome and why this would be showing up over Italy. Okay, it's not showing up over your town, but it sure is showing up over Italy, isn't it? Okay, now we're gonna just veer away from that. All right, we saw the we saw the skull coming off the sun. Okay, with the ram's horns and everything. We also have this guy going as around too. Okay, showing up in the sky as well. Now, just a good healthy reminder that that's the reason why not only do we need this for our mental stability and protection. See this? That's protection from that. You see the eyes looking down at the ground? He's looking down. Just creep. Okay, so this is all real stuff that's happening. Okay, we're in the end days. If you can't tell, you should be able to. All right, so pulling up some images here to read to tonight. Sorry I had to pull up that one image, but I just do what I'm told. I know. And he says, do it, I do it. Where are we going, Lord? Oh, yeah. Okay, things are rumbling. All right, not only are they rumbling under the ground, you got the waves, the seas and the waves roaring, and you also got the sun kind of rumbling there with all kinds of flare activity and CMEs. Any of you guys watch Mike from Around the World tonight? Whoops. On Paul Begley? If you did, he was talking about some bigger creatures that are coming up from the bottom. Okay. And maybe we're going to take a second here while we're kind of in that one realm a little bit So we need to show you here. Where is the? I gotta cover that message. Where did it go? Oh, we might have to type that one on in. All right, let me pull up a different YouTube page. Got another event. It's important that you guys understand what's going on. All right, so I'm going to show you your creature that he was talking about. Okay, this was captured off an oil rig in the Pacific here. The creature's echolocating. That is not a whale. See the pilot fish out in front of it? It's a real creature. There's a real pilot fish. Okay, these creatures live down at the bottom. The heat down there is driving them up higher to the cooler water columns. And now you're getting bigger creatures that we know existed at one time on this planet, okay? If that thing could live down and transfer to a lower ocean that's down below in the crust, a different strata, that thing could have, well, lasted the whole time. Predators this size, once they get to, especially reptiles, once they get to a certain size, nothing can eat them, then there's no stopping. They just keep aging and going until they either run out of food or something kills them or they die of natural causes. But your Leviathan, your creature of the deep, okay, and there's AI, there's computer enhancement stuff, right? But what I like to do is look at this, okay? You see the little pop-up box? I like to see the motion. Whoops, I can't do it. My hand's numb. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see when we roll this little. Oh, why can't I do it, Lord? Please help me with my hand. Guide my hand. When we try to do this in the pop-up box, you can see this is natural motion, okay? I look for other factors. I don't just look at the creature, okay? These pilot fish, the way they're swimming, they guide the creature. They hang out underneath for any droppings, and then they hang out by the tail when there's any droppings that get curled up, get caught up in the wake of the tail. These are little like little parasite, not parasite fish, but little feeder fish that follow bigger predators. That ping, that's echolocating. Even the grunts. And doesn't that tail look familiar just out of Jurassic Park? It's almost like Hollywood's trying to kind of hint, clue, hint, clue. There might be something out there. That's why there's a lot of people staying out of the water now. Okay, there's an eye on it. You can see the mouth. I'll put this link in the description. You can come over and analyze it as well if you want. Okay. I know what's going on. I seen spiritual realm. It's a real creature right there. Okay. Now back to this. So there's your answer. We got all kinds of stuff coming to fruition now, don't we? And it's important that you have this as your foundation, as your rock to fall back on and to build on. Okay. There's going to be disturbing things going on, and you're going to need to be able to stand and not be shaken. Reports come out of Gulf of Mexico, 3 people were eaten alive by some weird creature. Well, he told you there's also some other eels, some sea snake activity, which are also reptiles from down below being pushed up because, well, heat. All right. That's why this is so vital that you have a foundation. Okay. This is more than just, I'm not trying to show off. I'm not trying to, hey, look what I captured. This is much more. This is for you. This is for your sanity and your foundation. Okay. What else, Lord? That too. Okay. Can we change that? And take off the dinosaur. Okay. Don't be surprised. You see some weird creatures. I'm already capturing some critters in my area. I'm not going to go too detail because that will make you guys. He's by the moon. Okay, I want just the moon. Not the whole video. I just want that one image. Okay, we all know that there's Mr. MBB filtered this, got this frame a little bit better. Okay, captured the same time I was reading to you guys at this part of the show when I do the readings. Okay, that's my face out by the moon. Got my face in the clouds. Got my face showing up all over the place. That's why you can seek my face, because it's showing up all over the place. Okay? And for people that are in hot water, well, they get to see this face of me as well. Okay? But that's for the people who don't like me. For the people who love me, they get to see this side of me. All right. Now, where are we here? I got some good stuff for you guys today. I see what's going on. I feel what's going on. Being turned inside out and having raw nerve endings extending like your innards side out. It just, I don't know, feel all kinds of different things. But it's important that we do the spiritual work because it gives you peace, okay? And, all right, yeah, this is it right here. Okay, so you're taking a look at that. Is that the first? That one. Okay, good. I think we're set to roll here. All right, so that is an incident that happened on Easter, okay? I'll show you the video where it turns into a lion face here in a little bit if you want. But first, let me prepare you for each day that stretches out before you. You see, I know exactly what each day will contain, whereas you only have vague ideas about it. You would like to see a map showing all the twists and turns of your daily journey. You'd feel more prepared if you could somehow visualize what is on the road ahead. However, there is a better way to be prepared for whatever you will encounter each day, and that is spending quality time with me. I will not show you what is on the road ahead, but I will thoroughly equip you for the journey. Aha! You're on a journey and I'm equipping you. Okay? I may not show you what's on the road ahead. Sometimes I do. I show you this. I show you the other little tidbits. But you don't know everything. And I will not show you everything that's on the road ahead, but I will thoroughly equip you for the journey. My living presence is your companion each step of the way. My living presence, okay? Living. You're alive right now because you're in your flesh, right? But if you died, you'd leave your flesh, you'd be dead. So in order to be living, well, that means I'm in the flesh, alive. Duh. Sorry, scholars. Sometimes it's just so simple, and you're like, huh? Yeah. My living presence. the fact that you guys know that I'm here and I'm alive walking around is what you need. That's what you count on. All right? Is my living presence. My living presence is your companion. Okay? Each step of the way, which means each day of your life. All right? My living presence here on this earth now, with you guys here now, is your companion each step of the way. During your days, remember that. Stay in continual communication with me by simply whispering my name whenever you need to redirect your thoughts. Okay? Whisper Jesus Christ, boom, takes you right to, and then whenever you need to redirect your thoughts, when you whisper my name, that's what redirects your thoughts. It totally took your mind off of something else that you were worrying about and put your mind on me, where you know you have a rock and a foundation. A volcano goes off, so what? Doesn't change this. Doesn't change the fact that I'm here. Okay? I got this also. Oh, yeah. Stay in continual communication with me by simply whispering my name whenever you need to redirect your thoughts. Okay? Thus, you can walk through each day with your focus on me, and my abiding presence is the best roadmap available. Okay? So, when you got me on your mind, all of a sudden, your roadmap kind of opens up in front of you. Okay, you start thinking through a filter that's different, and all of a sudden, different ideas pop into your head. The road opens up before you. Okay. Okay, you're gonna love this, so hang in there. We're working on each day. Okay, you're in the salvage business. Each day is a precious gift, right? So you gotta work with each day in the moment. So try to view each day as an adventure, carefully planned out by your guide. And instead of starting into the day that is ahead of you, attempting to program it or programming your day according to your will, be attentive to me and to all that I have prepared for you. Thank me for each day of life, recognizing that it is a precious, unrepeatable gift. Okay, trust that I am with you each moment, whether you sense my presence or not. I am with you each moment. I'm here on this earth 24/7 right now. That's each moment. I'm still here. I told you I'd be back, and I'm still here. Okay, in this moment, I am with you each moment. So trust that I am with you each moment, whether you sense my presence or not. A thankful, trusting attitude helps you see events in your life from my perspective. This is what we're trying to get you guys to view each day as an adventure. View it from my perspective. A thankful, trusting attitude helps you see the events in your life. You're going through events in your life right now, but you need to see those events in your life from my perspective now. See, now you can. You know that this is real. You understand that I'm here. You are seeing things from my perspective now. I am trying to get you to view each day as an adventure. Okay? You thank me for each day, recognizing it's precious, and then trust that I am with you each moment, whether you sense I'm there or not. And that thankful, trusting attitude makes the events in your life change. They change into my perspective of them. Okay? Once you've changed into that perspective, a life lived close to me, which is a life from my perspective, that's a life lived close to me, is a life lived from my perspective, will never dull or be predictable. Okay? So when you're going through this with me, together. We're going through this together. When you live close to me, which is seeing things from my perspective, there's never a dull moment, is there? I mean, you look around, there's just never a dull moment, is there? And nothing's predictable. You're on an adventure. Okay, that's what makes it an adventure. If it was predictable, it wouldn't be an adventure. It'd just be the same book that you already read, right? Yeah. But there's going to be changes. There's going to be, well, unpredictable things, but you will see the events in your life from my perspective, and each day will be the precious gift that you'll start to see each day as the precious gift that it is. Oh, what else did I have? Oh yeah. So back to the life lived close to me will never be dull. So expect each day to contain surprises. Now, resist your tendency to search for the easiest route through the day, too. Be willing to follow wherever I lead, and no matter how steep or treacherous the path before you, the safest place to be is by my side. Okay? There's all kinds of paths out there, and no matter how steep or treacherous they are, the safest place for you is right here. Right here. Let me bless you with my grace and peace. Okay? I'm blessing you with my grace and peace. I want you to have what I have, this grace and this peace. So open your heart and mind to receive all that I have for you. Do not be ashamed of your emptiness, and instead view it as an optimal condition for being filled with my peace. So, how can you be filled with peace if you're not in the optimal condition? So let me bless you with my grace and peace so you can open your heart and mind to receive it. If you trust me and you believe me, you've opened your heart and mind to receive all that I have for you. So don't be ashamed if you question this. Don't be ashamed if you're still struggling with this. If you haven't mastered your art of salvaging a day, don't be ashamed. Instead, view it as the optimal condition for being filled with my peace. You got to have some kind of adversity in order to need peace, right? Then the peace is actually satisfying. Okay? Now, it's easy to touch up your outward appearance to look as if you have it all together, but your attempts to look good can fool most people. But I see straight through you into the depths of your being. There is no place for pretense in your relationship with me. So rejoice in the relief of being fully understood. It's not about knowing all your dirty secrets and stuff. It's about being fully understood. It's somebody who can relate to you. I'm like your best friend. I've been through it all. I can relate. Okay? When you have something, bring it to me. I can relate. Okay? You can fool most people by your appearance, but I see straight through you. So there's no reason for pretense. Okay? We're friends now. You can trust me. We're friends. Rejoice in the relief of being fully understood. Okay? Rejoice in the relief of being friends. Okay? You're getting to know me. I know you. You're just getting to know me. And the relief of being fully understood. The relief of being loved instead of that. Okay? This coming down on your country, well, wouldn't this be relief instead? Wouldn't this, some heart right there and some protection over your country, be some relief? Okay, that's what it's about, is relief. Rejoice in the relief of being fully understood. I'm not spying on all your little, personal stuff. You're supposed to be finding relief that I'm here. So Talk with me about your struggles and your feelings, especially feelings of inadequacy. And little by little, I will transform your weakness into strengths. Don't I? Don't I? Have I transformed pretty much everybody in this room right now? Little by little, I will transform your weaknesses into strengths. You won't be weak anymore. Your weaknesses are we're testing you, making you stronger. Remember that your relationship with me is saturated in grace. Therefore, nothing that you do or don't do can separate you from my presence. Okay? I am here. Nothing you can do or don't do can separate you from my presence. Your relationship with me is saturated with grace. Other people are going to find out the hard way, aren't they? And they are, aren't they? They're finding out the hard way, especially in Italy. You see this face show up months before over Italy. It's like a spiritual warning. You guys better get your act together. And then they don't. And then you get Mount Etna spewing huge vaults of magma. Okay. Now, there's my face again. And I wanted to close with this. But did we finish up this still? Little by little, I transform your weakness into strength. Remember, your relationship with me is saturated in grace. Therefore, nothing that you do or don't will separate you from my presence, right? Okay, you see that face right there? It's out by the moon, well defined by the web. That is cookie cutter. Very disturbing how well defined that face is sitting next to the moon. This is not a cloud. This is an object right next to the moon being illuminated by the light of the moon. That should really twist people's melons right there, but not for you. Because you know me, you see my face is shining upon you, beaming out peace that transcends understanding. You are surrounded by a sea of problems, but you are face to face with me, your peace. Aren't you? You're surrounded by a sea of problems, but you, not everybody in the world, but the people here at this channel are face to face with me and face to face with my peace. As long as you focus on me, you are safe. If you gaze too long at the myriad of problems around you, you will sink under the weight of your burdens. Remember, plugging into the mainstream media, how much of the BS are you going to spoon feed until you finally throw up and go, oh, I can't stand it anymore? Okay? If you gaze too long at the mainstream media, you will sink under the weight of the burdens. But when you start to sink, call out, help me, Jesus, and I will lift you up, right? You deflect your attention away from the problem to me. You say, help me, Jesus. And what happens? I pull you out of the quagmire and lift you up, don't I? Every single time. The closer you live to me, again, the perspective, the closer you live to me, like from my perspective, the safer you are. Circumstances around are undulating, and there are treacherous-looking waves in the distance. Fix your eyes on me. Come back here. Come back here to this image right there. There are some disturbing things coming down the path. Do not worry. Fix your eyes on me. I am the one who never changes, and by the time those waves reach you, they will have shrunk to proportions of my design. I am always beside you, helping you face today's waves. The future is a phantom seeking to spook you, so laugh at the future and stay close to me. Got it? The closer you live to me, the safer you are. The world's undulating. It's treacherous looking waves out there. Fix your eyes on me. Quit looking at your mainstream media. I'm telling you. If you fix your eyes on me, by the time the mainstream media reaches you, their BS has shrunk to poor proportions of my design. It's shrunk into, well, BS. Some turds. Their information is just worthless, isn't it? When you fix your eyes on me. And remember, I'm the one who never changes. Those waves, when they reach you, will have shrunk to the proportions of my design. Remember, I am always beside you, helping you face today's waves. Remember, we're in the salvage business. Today's waves, each day. So each day has waves. The way you ride them, the best way you can, is to rely on me. Fix your eyes on me. I know you'll drift away. When that happens, simply call out to help. Help Jesus. Put your mind back into focus. Try to view each day as an adventure. When that happens and you're on the adventure I'm on the adventure with you, that's when you let me bless you with my grace and peace. Yeah. What else? Nothing that you do or don't do is going to separate you from my presence. What was the other thing I wanted to circle again? Oh, yeah, right here. Rejoice in the relief of being fully understood. Okay? Rejoice, relief. Take a deep breath. Rejoice. Another deep breath. Relief. I know you. You're fully understood. I can relate. Okay? You're just getting to know me. You're building a relationship with me, and there's no place for pretense. Okay? You can be open and honest. You're fully understood. That's it for tonight, guys. I love you. I miss you. Until my next show, I will be back. I am already back, and the world is showing the signs. You have gotten caught up. This is like a good book. It's like a good song, a good YouTube live stream, right? Sometimes they're fascinating, intriguing, and you get caught up in it. It's very fascinating, and that is what's happened. This is my face showing up in the clouds on Easter, okay? This is me in the clouds, coming in the clouds with power and great glory. You are caught up. You're fascinated with me in the clouds. You're caught up with me in the clouds, aren't you? And I can't just come over right now. I'm not in the spiritual realm right now. I'm in a physical form. I can't just come over and knock on your door. You'd think I'm some stalker. So I got to meet you in the air of cyberspace. Do you get that part? Do you understand? In order for me to talk to my family, we must meet in the air. So every night we meet in the air, and you get caught up with me in the clouds, and we do our solar earthquake reports and all the grand stuff, and then we work on our salvaging a day so you can be in good form to shine my light into other people's lives. If you're having a bad day, the smile you put on is fake. So if somebody asks you, how's your day going? It's going. I'm in the middle of salvaging my day. And they're going to go, what? Well, I refuse to to be depressed. And even though it was something that would normally knock most people down, I'm not going to let that ruin my day. I'm going to pull my bootstraps up because there's a bigger thing going on. I'm in the salvage business. I go through each day a different way than you do. Most people don't even know what salvaging a day is. They just live in depression, or they don't even trust me. You don't want to know, but you guys have found it. You have found it. It really works. It's really me. I have to meet you in the air of YouTube, live in the air, where we meet and you get caught up with me in the clouds. The word rapture is not in the Bible. I am so getting tired of people counting on that word rapture. Rapture this, pre, post, mid, trib. Dude, there's no rapture. There is no rapture. There is no rapture. There is no rapture. You are caught up with me in the clouds. You're the ones that are, quote, raptured. No, you're not raptured. Your faith is complete. I complete you. Now you know. Now you know. There is no doubt. Now you know that I am back, that I am here, and that you are one of the precious people in my family. You should rejoice and have relief. Okay? I love you guys. I miss you guys. This is the real thing. You are, quote, technically raptured. It's more of a feeling inside that you're safe and secure. You're gonna be okay. You are caught up in the with me in the clouds. We've met in the air. You're getting to know me, aren't you? I'm not all that bad of a guy. You get on my bad side. You screw me for 2,000 years. Yeah, I might come back like this. So I have both capacity, all right? Trying to let you know. Either way, good or evil, you're gonna answer to me. But you guys are going to rejoice with me. Okay? While other people are still, well, they're going to have to learn how to salvage their days. And you guys have already started the perfecting the art of it. So well done. Keep going. You're doing well. I think you understand now how valuable the practicing of this art is, especially with the things coming in the future. But when you've got it down, you have nothing to fear. Okay. So it's important that when we do all this work with the sun and the earthquakes and everything, that you understand what's going on and that you take a spiritual break. If you feel an anxiety, stop what you're doing, take a few breaths. Remember, I'm right there. Okay, reach over and just grab air with your right hand and know that I'm holding you by your right hand. Even though you don't feel my hand there, just the grabbing of air like that is an act of trust. It's an act of faith. It takes your mind off your problem. It gives you the relief you need. I love you. I miss you. I am indeed back, okay? I will be back, okay? I love you. I miss you. Until my next show, I will be back. I am already back. Can't you tell? Oh, chatter out there. I heard there's chatter about this and chatter about that. Geez, the chatter should be psst. Somebody's back. Oops. Love you. Bye.